Oh, is this thing on?
Well, warmest regards and kindness greetings to you all. Welcome to an audiovisual podcast we like to call Uncensored Radio. Hello, everyone. How are we today?
What is with that voice?
I had to Moira Rose. I had to Moira Rose it today.
I thought you were having a
Uncensored
stroke.
Radio.
You smell toast. Don't go near the light.
I do. I always smell toast. Towards the light, Caroline. Towards the light. All right. So we have our two usual suspects with us, Mr. Jeffrey Emmett. How might you be today with your floating wall?
Blowing in the wind. I'd be so much better if the audio didn't suck and I didn't always like cut out when I was talking. That would make me
Cut to the audio cutting out just at the end of your sentence. Very good.
Like you timed that kind of like that.
At least you're consistent. The wonderful Miss Vera under the eyes of Judy. Under her eye.
The lips and nose of Judy. Her eyes are cut off.
How are you this week?
I'm good. Lovely cold day in New York State. Sun was out, but the wind was blowing. Going on vacation next week. Got the whole week off. Very excited about that.
Awesome.
7.5
Vera.
hours away from vacation.
Are you coming to see me?
No.
Oh my
I have to
goodness.
I have to fix my voter registration and my social security.
I should get arrested again.
Yeah, right.
Or nearly arrested.
And my
We have a
are going
returning
to spy.
panelist. This girl's been missing in the wilderness of life. Miss
Hi,
Angel,
guys.
how are you?
I'm
Woo!
fabulous now that I'm back. I've missed you guys a ton. So hopefully you'll be seeing me regularly again with my gorgeous face.
And your gorgeous nails.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I get out
Just
at
come
least
back
once a week to
looking
get my nails done.
She's come back to looks. She's ready to go. Looks for days. So,
I'm
Jeffrey,
working on it.
Jeffrey.
we talked about it this morning, but it was off air. How's your shit situation going?
Let's talk about Missouri / Throw Rock and hit Arkansas. There's shitty internet. Okay. Horrible internet being in the mountains. I can't deal with it anymore. And then the septic system. It fixed, put in new laterals. They dug up the whole yard. It looks like a mud pit. For a week, didn't notice. Yeah, it wasn't hooked up.
Oh, no.
So they had to
way.
come dig the yard up again. Shit all over the yard. So much fun. I'm ready for the nut house.
You could always come back to New York.
I am.
You are? Oh, don't come back here.
I'm coming for 10 days.
Oh, secret.
Secret squirrel,
But
New York.
I've been in New York this whole time. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Exactly.
Look at his brick wall. He's in New York.
Right,
Exactly.
kids.
Right?
I live.
Well, I'll have to
But
come and
otherwise,
harass you when you're still home.
Yes, because I want to do a live show all together and maybe like record some stuff and have you, Vera, all of us in the same location.
Awesome. Let's
That
make
would
it
be way
happen.
cool.
I'm down.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll send you the dates after the show.
Perfect.
don't go shedding any COVID on each other, guys.
Listen, I have not left my house in a year besides get my
Totally
nails done.
vaccinated.
Yes,
Totally
Vera.
vaccinated.
Vaccinated
Vera
Vera.
is
We like to call her.
The double V.
Yes.
Big old V.
I
Big
am
old V.
so looking forward to going to Broadway this fall. Yes. Here
It's
we
gonna
go.
be great.
Probably going to be
It's
able
gonna
to
be-
get tickets to Hamilton.
Well, yeah, maybe. Global pandemic's really knocked those lines down.
Right?
The last thing I'm doing is put my ass trapped in a room with little tiny seats to watch a play or movie. It's not happening. So keep putting those movies
We're
on
going to
streaming,
talk about.
kids.
We'll talk about that in a second. But you know the worst thing, as soon as you sit in a theater audience, everyone has to cough. Like as soon as the show starts.
Always.
Like everyone's fine before the show
Always.
starts. And they're like,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going in there without a mask.
I honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go. You know, I heard
Oh,
the
I
movie theaters here are opening full hours, full capacity,
Yeah,
and I'm just not feeling it. Sorry.
Well, we're gonna feel it. Vera, hold on to it for 2 seconds because I'm feeling something brewing. I'm feeling this week's
hot load of hot topics.
That laugh, I love it.
I am so ready to be back in a movie theater. I will wear my 5-layer mask. I'm fully vaccinated. I may even wear a shield, but I want to be back in a movie theater. I want to be back in live theater situation. I want to go to Broadway. I want to see all these movies that I couldn't see on the big screen. I mean, come on. You know that Michael B. Jordan film is not going to be as good on my TV as it's going to be on the big screen.
Boo. It's only an Amazon release. You ain't seen it in the theater.
Yeah, that was
going to be in the theater if there's enough demand.
And it was actually really good. It was good.
Was
I liked it.
But it's going to be
without
better in a big
remorse.
screen.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to watch it.
Why did if you watch the trailer, please go watch the trailer on Amazon Prime and tell me if it looks like C-rated, like trash, like low budget, just garbage, right? And then I was
I
like,
didn't think that from the trailer.
I did. It didn't look good. Like it looked like it was going to be like
It looked
shitty,
like a
low
Tom
budget.
Clancy thriller.
But when you
With
watch
Michael
it,
B.
it looked
Jordan.
good. I hate when the trailers look like trash. I pay attention.
Right. Yeah.
I
Just
think
saying.
Well, it's very interesting because our cinemas were only really closed for, I think, 4 weeks or so here in Australia, and then 4 to 5
everybody else
weeks.
did better than we did.
But then when you went, you got a little square of immunity around you, so they couldn't sit people in the 2 seats in front, the seat either side, or the 2 seats behind you.
Oh wow.
Even
it's
if
just
you
like,
went in your own pod.
Yeah. Oh well, we didn't get to the pod stage really.
Yeah.
We kind of locked down for a little bit, and then life has kind of gone back to normal. We just can't get vaccines here, which is why we can't travel. We don't live that way. Jeffrey, you're on screen. She doesn't like that angle.
Well,
Actually,
here-
I don't mind it now with this new tripod. It's not too
He's like,
bad.
oh.
Like,
So we'll talk about the elephant in the room, which is COVID. Experts now calculate that herd immunity threshold to be at least 80%. If more contagious variants show up or scientists find that immunized people can still transmit the virus, the calculation will have to be raised again. Polls show that 30% of US population is still reluctant to be vaccinated. The number is expected to improve, but probably not enough to reach herd immunity.
Yep. There's always somebody ruin it for the rest of us. That one kid in the class who wouldn't shut up during the test. Here they are, not getting their vaccine. I wash my hands. It's if they're not willing to get the vaccine, then it becomes Darwin's law. The stupid will die off. Go ahead, run around without your mask and without your vaccine, get COVID and fucking die.
But these are all the people, Vera. These are all the
I don't
people
care.
these are the people that are on social media that are like, oh, you can't tell me what to do with my body. You can't tell me what to do. Da 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 da. I'm sick. Where's the
You're
doctor?
right.
I need help. Me. Pick me.
You're
Help
right.
me.
You can't.
Right.
You're
No.
stupid. We can't tell you anything.
No,
Like, you
I'm
drive
sorry.
90 miles an hour without a seatbelt and crash into a brick wall because you don't believe in science. So therefore, the laws of speed and inertia can't affect you. Keep going.
oh yeah, Angel, you missed this shit. She goes off now. We got people hating because they're like, "Fuck Vera."
Don't you guys come for Vera. Don't come for my girl. Because I'll have to come
We
for
are a
you.
tight unit.
I haven't seen anybody say that.
Well, they called you a
Well, the
bitch.
one person.
Hi,
Yeah,
man.
but
The one person called
and some
me a
people
bitch.
just aren't smart enough to sustain an argument anyway. But we'll move on.
Oh god.
Pretty much.
All right. So 1 year ago, child COVID cases made up only around 3% of the US total. On Monday, the AAP said children represented 22.4% of new cases reported in the past week. accounting for 71,649 out of the 319,601 cases. The latest report, drawn from data collected through April 29th, shows how children share the coronavirus has already grown recently. I think we were all dreaming if you thought that this virus was never going to affect children
Right.
at all.
Right.
Hey, James.
I love your comment, James. They're driving for the.
I feel like that should be our new slogan. Uncensored radio. It's like the bubonic plague, but with Wi-Fi.
Not good Wi-Fi.
Not good Wi-Fi.
But are people? I don't get the surprise
The thing is that when it first started, they closed all the schools. That was the first thing to close. Now all the schools are opened.
Right.
So these children are back in the school situation and they're exposing each other because kids will be kids. They will cough,
Exactly.
they will sneeze, they will laugh, they will forget to social distance, they will forget to wash their hands.
Yep.
They'll walk around with snot running down their nose.
Sure thing. And we
Now
have
they're
to
back.
remember not all of these children are social distancing when they're outside of school. So,
Right.
it's, of course they're going to get it. I mean,
My kids will be homeschooled for the rest of their lives.
Well, your one son.
But that's your choice. That's your choice to make. That's your choice to make. But
At homeschooling, your one
I
son's
don't
been
get-
very successful, right?
Yes.
I
yes,
don't get
yes.
the thought
It
that it was
works
never
for
going to
some
affect
kids.
children at all. Everyone was not worried about it. They're like, oh yeah, as long as we keep them home from school, it'll be fine. I'm like, well, they have to live a life.
right.
Right.
What are you going to do? Bird box your children for the rest of their life?
Exactly.
Quickly, cover everything.
I didn't want to
Run.
send my son back to school because, he is not eligible for the vaccine.
He will be
he-
soon.
Well, he has a lot of medical underlying conditions, so he won't be receiving the vaccine. And, with his immune system and things, we were like, we don't want to send him back to school. But he was not doing well at home. I've never seen this kid fail at things and just be like miserable and depressed. He was at school a week and his grades went up by 60% and he's back to himself. So I was like, you're go. Like, he's in school 4 days a week now. So, I mean, some kids, it works for them. I
Yeah.
still have some students
yeah.
who are homeschooling and they do great. But
Well, I definitely had a mother in tears last week because her child didn't learn a single thing in the entire
Yeah.
pandemic.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, I
Well,
had
I
to send my
Now
son
behind.
back.
I think it's hard if they're not at an age where you can't kind of oversee them and make sure
Yes.
they're doing it. And if you
Yes.
don't have the luxury of having that time, it's a problem. But for me
Right.
in my life, it's worked out really well, and I feel like it's actually brought us all closer together.
See,
And
that's
it's been a lot of fun.
awesome. See, that's awesome. My son, I loved it, trying to help him, but he's a teenager and he's like, Mom, I know
Right.
you're a teacher, but you're not my teacher. Leave
Right.
me the hell alone.
Now, my
Basically.
4-year-old that's got to go to kindergarten next year, he's going to be the death of me because I might
Oh.
send his little ass to school.
Kindergartners are.
He's a nightmare. I'm like, Gabe, okay, we got to do schoolwork. He's like, no, Daddy, I'm too tired. But you running around playing with toys, but you're too tired to trace the A and B.
Do you know why that is, Jeffrey? He's tired because he doesn't get bagels.
Bagel?
You should have heard Gabe this morning. Daddy, bagels?
He's very upset. He's like a little Jew. He just, where's my bagel, man?
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
Well,
No.
there's always a lighter side to COVID.
I
So
saw
Coastal Town has dropped about $228,000 on a 42 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 13 feet high statue of a pink squid using money designated for coronavirus pandemic relief.
Have we snowed
Right.
this?
I
Why?
don't know.
Why a pink squid? Like, I just have so many questions. I think I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna email these people and ask them why a pink squid. What? Why?
To
I
help
gotta wonder if
attract
it's for real.
tourism. It is.
Gay
It's-
tourists.
it's to help
Apparently, with the
attract
pink
tourists.
squid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I didn't put where it was from because I thought people would get pissed and really start bitching about it and be like, only in America, but it wasn't in America. He was in Japan.
For once.
Oh, okay.
No, worse then.
Well,
Worse.
they're probably all vaccinated in Japan.
But I mean, after that, the toxic waste dump that that happened when the thing blew up. You know what I'm saying? The squid could be that big, so it's something to see.
It could.
Yeah, the fallout from Fukushima meltdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
that-
This is what
crazy.
happens when you don't take care of your nuclear power plants. Maybe we should switch to green energy. Just a thought.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
You know, seven to one, 6 to the other. All happens. It all happens. So also in the news this week, well, we'll do some serious ones first. We'll get the serious ones out of the way. Julian Assange is in the news again, calling for release from Belmarsh prison. This is a very interesting. It's a tweet, so it's not really a news bulletin.
Well,
It reads, all Assange did was release information in the public interest. Journalism is not a crime, and no one should be punished for doing the right thing.
Well, the Biden administration is trying to get him extradited again. The new DOJ looking to get him extradited, so he better be comfortable in Belmarsh because he doesn't want to come here.
I'm not okay with it. Like, he just was putting information out that I feel like should be. It's not cool. I don't think they should be hiding stuff from us in the government. I don't care if they don't think we can handle it. I mean, clearly we've seen with COVID, some folks can't handle things.
Right.
But we'll figure it out. And that's why everybody
Some
still has
folks
their
can't
guns.
figure out what's true and what's not.
But you know what? Again, then
Vera.
let's have that mental health crisis talk. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously something's not right in these people's head. So that then goes back to, look at all these white people shooting up schools and things. Just saying.
Three shootings today. I held up 4 fingers.
I just think
Vera,
we
it's
forget.
okay, you're on vacation.
We forget that, like, a couple of months ago, there was an insurrection at the Capitol. Like,
Crazy
America-
white people. Crazy
America went to
fucking white
purge.
people.
Like, literally, America went to purge. And we're all just like, Joe Biden's old.
Right.
It's like, wait, what?
He almost fell down some
Flashback.
plain stairs, but they just tried to wreck your whole Capitol, but that's all right,
That was fun. I enjoyed that
Frickin'
stare.
Trump couldn't walk 2,000 feet at the G8 summit. He had to have a golf cart. Merkel, who was around when Hitler was alive, could walk, but he couldn't. Don't tell me that Joe Biden falling up the stairs is a victim of something bigger.
Right.
God.
China. Good old China. It's all China's fault, right? But, like, seriously, what's going on, America? Do you know, look, if old Trumpy and Joe used one of these, they might be better. But Peloton have actually done a recall. This is an update to our story that we did a couple of weeks ago. Have actually done recalls on both its Tread Plus and treadmill machines over safety concerns. The company is advising customers who already have the products to immediately stop using it and contact Peloton for a full refund. CEO John Foley apologized for not cooperating with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission sooner.
See,
Angel, you went on. You go, girl.
okay, so I am all for the people who want to exercise and be healthy, and yes, I want to look my best. I just can't imagine spending that much fucking money on something that I'm going to run on in my house, get out of breath, and die probably. I just don't get it. Sorry. They're asking for it.
And what are you getting fit for if the COVID's around? I mean,
You ain't going nowhere. Well, I mean, maybe you want to wear a string bikini in your backyard. I don't know. Maybe you'll be in Florida coughing on people and giving them your bodily fluids and sweat and stuff. I don't know. But personally, I would not spend that much money on an exercise machine.
Oh, speaking of bodily fluids in Florida, how is Marie, Jeff?
She's struggling, okay? She had the birthday party. We should have had the pictures. We'll have to have.
We'll post a picture last week. She looks hot.
a Little
was
Mermaid birthday
adorable.
party, and it was out of fucking control. I'm like,
I
okay,
loved it.
Tori spelling. And I get it. Because I used to be that bitch that would do the same thing, except I wasn't getting in costumes and shit, because I don't do that for Halloween. Big people, we don't do it. Like, it's just not our thing, right? So, I'm not a theater person either, so it doesn't count, you know? But this bitch is all up in Ursula. Her husband was King Triton and shit.
That's how
I'm
it should be for kids' birthdays. For my daughter's Sweet 16, we rented out a
no.
party house, a DJ, and everyone had to come in a Disney-themed
Sure.
costume.
16, sure. Have a big party, get a car, get one. But you know what? I'm not doing that big birthday shit anymore. The kids, we do a little cake, do a little something. There's no decorations. We're
Go
done.
roll around in the grass. Go, jump on a freaking dirt pile.
I asked them,
Y'all go
what
down
do
to the
you-
fishing hole. Catch us some dinner.
Let's go down to
Let's
the
go down to the shithole.
creek.
I ask them what they want to do for their birthday. Like, I want them to pick, like, do you want to go someplace? Do you want to have people over? And let them decide, and that's what we do.
This year, it's go down to the creek.
Catch
What
us some messy
time?
catfish
Tyler?
and come fried up.
his
Monster
birthday?
Boggy Creek.
He wanted to go on, like, ATV rides, so the neighbors came and got the boys and took them all over.
That's cool.
And, the other two boys are, like, 2 days apart in July. They want to be on the boat and swimming. So that,
That's
like,
fun.
well, before COVID, they wanted to do sea breeze. So we were at
Right.
sea breeze like 4 times that summer. It was insane. But, we're not doing this big hoopla bullshit. I'm not doing this crazy ass cake no more. Like, no. It's just like Christmas. We're not doing it, kids. Call me the Grinch. I don't care. You get a tree up, we're done. We're not going crazy. You want to do something? Let's go to Disney World when COVID's over. Okay?
You know what? We're not doing Christmas. We actually decided we're going away for Christmas, and we're actually going to go to Florida.
I'd rather put the $5,000 that I would spend on Christmas before on taking them on a trip of their lifetime every year, that they're going to have those memories for the rest of their life, instead of toys that they break in 3 days and don't fucking play with. Then they just annoy me because they're all over the place.
And then you have to pretend they disappeared someplace.
Oh,
I
no,
don't
I'll
know
do it
where
right
it
in front
went.
of them. You ain't take care of it. You broke this shit. Guess what? Let's get the trash bags.
Poor kids.
Every couple of months, I make them do it. Like, let's go through what don't you want anymore? What don't you play with?
That's good. I do believe in that.
I can't.
Very Marie Kondo of you, Jeff.
I hate clutter right now. Like, this kitchen there's shit on. I can't. I don't like stuff on the counters. I don't like a lot of appliances. We need to put them in spaces. I don't like no.
Go. Needs
Look,
to go.
I went from a 3,200 square house to 900.
There's no way. I couldn't do it.
I did it.
There's no way.
I didn't bring my shit, though, because I only planned on coming for vacation. I didn't think I was going to stay for 8 months.
12 years later.
I know, right? The kids
Jeff's
are
on his
graduating high
second crop
school.
of corn.
It was
It's
so
good.
much fun, though, because I got to buy all new shit and all new clothes for everybody. So it was like, oh, there you go.
This is fun. I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
do a Swedish death clean so that my niece and nephew don't have to.
Wait, can you please clarify a Swedish death clean?
Put her on
So
the
you go
screen.
through
Let's
before
see.
you die. You go through all the memorabilia and all the ephemera and all the shit that your progeny really don't want, and you get rid of it so you're not leaving them with a mess when you die to clear up your lifetime worth of shit.
Can we listen to Vera? I think she's turned into Moira Rose. Ephemera and progeny. And, listen to her. Woo! She got fancy book learning, y'all.
I do have the fancy book learning. My dad used to say she's got $1 million vocabulary and her favorite word is fuck.
Well,
To reference last week's show, I would say you're a Mexican, Vera.
Thank you. I think so too.
Shots fired, Katie. Shots fired. Boom, boom. All right. I want to bring up a little topic. It's not really a news topic, but it's a good conversation topic that popped up into our little online world today. Well, today, like a while ago. It's a question from Cora. So here we go. I caught my neighbor leaving his 12-year-old son home alone, and he has not come back in 6 hours. Should I call CPS? Now,
I used to
made my
babysit
blood
when I
boil.
was 12.
Me too.
I used to stay home alone at 6. I'd have to walk from school by myself. I was at home for like 8 hours by myself at 6.
Mhm.
Shit you not. Like I had a key to get in. I knew to lock the doors. I sometimes had to make my own dinner. I was at home alone, had to do my own homework. So, I mean, 12, come on. They can't even go to
Yeah.
daycare anymore at 12. Like, they're fine.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
count
if
daycare numbers.
they're 12 years old and they don't know how to call 911,
Then we got more
then you
problems.
got
Well,
bigger problems.
then maybe you should leave them on their own and hope for the best.
Natural selection, right?
Maybe
Natural
they'll run into
selection.
somebody with COVID or somebody trying
Right.
to drive through a brick wall.
Yeah, 12 is old enough to
But
be
I-
at home and take care of yourself and make your
I think
meals
12 is
and
plenty old to be left alone.
yeah.
I thought,
absolutely.
didn't you think, like, especially when you got to that older, like, tween teenager, you were like, yeah, I'm adulting
Right.
the shit out of this. I'm here by myself, whatever.
Right.
The comment on that I thought was really great because it basically said, why don't you be a neighbor, take your ass over there and be like, they can come to me if they need anything. Here's my
Right.
number.
Right.
And be a good fucking neighbor
Right.
instead of being
Yeah,
a piece
so
of
here's-
shit.
Here's the response. At 5 years old, I was put on a John Deere tractor with this detached and told to till the fields. Dad said, don't run over a fence and don't drive into the woods or creek. Come find me if you run out of gas. At 12, my older brother and I were milking 15 cows 5 nights a week, while my dad worked a second shift in the factory and my mum was in the house caring for our other 4 younger siblings. Seems like we have made babies out of far too many kids today. Your neighbor's son will be just fine. You should stand up, be a neighbor instead of a pest, and tell the father the kids can call you or come over if any emergency arrives.
Yeah.
Or even if they're scared,
Right.
Like, I would totally let my neighbor's kid come over if they were home alone and they were scared.
Yeah, I think there are some people who will do that. I can remember a really
Emily babysat at 11.
Hey Emily, yep. See, if Emily can babysit at 11, anybody can take care of themselves at 11. So I think they are all set. Okay.
I can remember I'd be taking care of all like the younger babies at 10.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah.
infants and I was feeding them, changing them, doing whatever.
Yeah.
I was cooking, I was mowing.
I
the
was
lawn.
cooking.
No
Yeah.
supervision. We had a big backyard. If I can mow the lawn, bitch, I can stay home.
Yeah. I remember cooking and watching my younger cousins and
I was cooking
siblings
dinners.
and doing laundry. And this was way before 12. So I think that some people have coddled their children a little too much, possibly. I mean, I think we need to push them out into the world a little bit, give them some responsibilities. Like, hey, get your ass up on the roof and clean out the gutters.
Mhm.
If you fall, just scream, and I'll come
Do you
get
think
you.
a lot of it is parental guilt as well? Because
Yes.
Yes.
I know that my parents both had to work. Yeah, like
Mhm.
there wasn't an option of someone staying at home when I was growing up.
Right.
They were at work. Like if I wasn't at my after school activity, which I was at 3 nights a week anyway, and they picked me up after they finished work at 9:30 at night, I was at home by myself.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. And a lot of parents these days go, oh well, so and so stays with them. I feel guilty, so now I have to overcompensate by caring for my child and not letting them do anything. Like that's how you develop a sense of self-confidence and all that kind of stuff.
It's this whole generation. Parents coddle kids about everything. The thing that made me the craziest was the fucking everybody gets a trophy.
No.
Yay!
No.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm sorry, you suck. You don't get a trophy.
You know what? I
Woohoo!
think
Let's
children
have that.
have to learn to work for certain things. Like
Yeah,
my
it's
daughter,
important.
my daughter just turned 21. Yes, we could have given her a vehicle, but you know what? We made her pay $300 for the vehicle. We make her work. She goes to school as well. She has to pay for her own car insurance. I make her pay for her own cell phone bill. They need to learn how to be adults. And the only way they're going to do that is if the parents help them realize that the world is not so pretty and they're not going to coddle your ass.
Right. Like Aiden constantly, he's like, that's not fair. I'm like, oh, life's not fair.
The world's
You know-
not fair.
I don't know
No,
what to
the
tell you,
world is
kid.
not fair. And the sooner
This is-
we all learn that,
Yeah, This is my argument. How are these kids going to go when they get into a working situation?
They don't.
You know, when
They don't make
when
it.
they have a boss that needs results and like
And they don't
Even-
care.
Yeah.
When I
don't
had
care.
the sub shops, so like any 18-year-old, 19, even those ages, and we're talking, 4 or 5 years ago, these kids could not work for shit. They couldn't be bothered. They felt they could just stand around, play on their phone. They didn't have to do shit. And if you told them anything, it was a personal attack.
Right. They don't
On
know how to
them.
take constructive criticism.
No,
And-
like, I'm sorry, I made you a whole list with stuff, and they were pissed, right? Because there was like a cleaning sheet with a checklist you had to check off every night.
Right.
So then they weren't doing things or they'd skip steps. So I made the checklist 5 pages long in small font that was like, clean the toilet. Step 2, wipe the top of the toilet down. Step 3, wipe around the top of the bowl, the lids of each thing. So, Step 4, wipe the base of the toilet. Step
And I
5,
think
wipe.
that's asinine that they don't know these things already. I don't know. I know I'm not fucking crazy. I don't know what's going on in the world, but it's ridiculous.
We're
Parents, if
spoiled.
you're listening,
Yeah.
teach your kids how to scrub a toilet when they're like 2. Then when they go out in the world, nope, 2. As soon as they learn how to pee on a toilet, they should be scrubbing it.
They should know how to clean it, especially when they make it. And I'll tell you what, I chase these kids. I'm like, who was just in that bathroom? Get your butt back in there and go wipe that piss off the toilet seat right now.
Yeah.
I can't. No.
I'm
Certain
a firm believer in chores. I'm like, listen, they're going to learn at home that hard work gets you nice things because you work hard, you make money, and you can buy some good shit.
Listen. So Aiden, one of his chores, right? He was being wicked horrible. He was just having horrible attitude or whatever. So sometimes we'll do some chores, because he couldn't do anything else. So he was picking sticks up in the yard, right? But he'll just mosey on his way, and in 15 minutes we'll maybe pick up a stick. So I'm kind of standing there, kind of doing the drill instructor thing, right? Because at this point I've just had enough. And I'm like, let's go. This one, right? Go, pick it up. Let's go. And he's getting mad. He's screaming at me. He's crying. He's like, I'm sweating. I'm gonna die. I had to walk away because I was laughing so hard. Because he was gonna die.
I love dramatics. I love it.
Over sweating. I'm like, dude, you're in for a rude awakening.
But
and
those are the best.
Yeah, and he'd be like, if I die, it's your fault. I'm like, because you're sweating?
I would have grabbed a glass of wine and sat right there on the porch, like, let's watch this.
No.
It would have been the
next
best
day.
my day.
The next day, we went and shoveled the rock pile and put it in the wagon, dragged it down the driveway, and started. And everybody, and Gabe, oh my God, that little one. He's like, can I do it, Daddy? Can I get on the shovel? I want to do it. And that kid's shoveling the rocks quicker than the older kid.
See, the little ones are cute because they don't hate anything yet. Everything's fun at that age still, and you're like, oh, you're so cute. It's so fun. As they get older, then you're like, they start to realize they can say no.
No, Gabe's starting to get into the clothing, and he's like, I'm not wearing that today, Daddy. And then I tried having him watch the Muppets, and he's like, and I'm like, Gabe, it was Daddy's favorite show when he was a kid. He goes, well, it's not my favorite, Daddy.
He's got your attitude,
Yeah,
so you can't be mad at him. You cannot be mad.
He so does. I'm so fucked.
All right, well, we're just gonna move on to something else we've been obviously protecting our kids from for too long. As I predicted a couple of months ago, social media has blown up. Cancel culture has taken aim at Snow White's enchanted kiss, a new ride at Disneyland, after it was deemed problematic over Prince Charming kissing Snow White without consent. The detractors say a kiss he gives to her without consent while she's asleep, which cannot possibly be true love if only one person knows it's happening. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go, Vera.
You know what? I don't care if she is able to give consent for a peck on the cheek. My problem is that these Disney movies create this false expectation in young women that some man is going to come along and save them. And that's what I think needs to be canceled, is all this princess needs to be saved by Prince Charming bullshit. I don't care about the kiss.
Honey, well, you need to be saved by the light, honey, because you're dark as hell. I can't see it no how.
I know. I've been trying to fix it. It's dying. I don't know what happened. I think a bulb blew. I'm sorry.
Vera's having lighting issues.
Little battery pack. Honey, you got to get the tripod I sent you. I just sent it again in Amazon. All you bitches need to get it.
I had this beautiful light I bought online, and it was working great, and now it just died on me.
She looks like we're doing one of those interviews,
I
you know,
know.
with the people that
And you
don't
can't
want.
see him.
Yeah.
Like how to catch a predator.
Yes, I slept with my teacher.
Or like her father was a serial killer and we're doing an interview. It's like,
Yeah.
Or I'm marrying my cousin brother
You're disguising my
Please
voice.
touch me.
in the naughty place.
oh, cancel you see out.
Oh,
Then what would
cancel
you
your sweatshirt, you fuckface.
and then what would you have to complain about? Nothing.
Oh,
We are a
speaking
forum.
of which, you can go over, speaking of sweatshirts, you can definitely go over to the store now and get the new updated mug with the new graphics.
Oh my God,
Yay!
hold on, Jeffrey. Let me find that old banner that we haven't used for about 700 years.
You get the new
La, la,
mug,
la,
we get
la.
a t-shirt and a hoodie, and that's it. And they're really crazy priced because it's crazy expensive to have it done. So sorry about the price.
So that's right,
For the
kids. You
mug?
can head to www.etsy.com/shop/just Jeff Emmett for your uncensored radio needs and goodness of merchandise. We're all on there in cartoon form. We're cute as. It's beautiful times.
Actually,
Yeah.
and then you, me, and Kat are on the back of the t-shirt in that one. Yeah. I was like, let's see what real people look like.
We're just fighting. Sometimes we like to fight, you know. We keep it 100 and bust on. I want to talk to Vera about that next topic, so we'll just have to wait until she has sorted herself
Speaking of
out.
fighting. Look what I just looked over at my. Oh, look at how dirty it is.
Me
Me and Kitty beating the shit out of each other in LA.
Good times.
Okay,
Good beating.
so we talked about it briefly last week, and we're going to just touch on it very quickly because we're running out of time today. Oh, Angel. So, County Superior Court Judge Mark A. Young granted Jackson's estate's request to dismiss the suit brought in 2013 by Wade Robson. The judge said to Jackson Entertainment corporations targeted by the lawsuit had no legal duty to protect Robson from Jackson. Yeah. So, Andrew, you can go first since you're away.
Michael Jackson was an amazing artist, don't get me wrong. But someone has to be responsible for protecting the children. I don't know if he did or did not do what they are accusing him of, but there has to be something behind it. Something has to have happened on some level or to some degree. I mean,
look, I think regardless of what happened, I think the real failure is on the parents' part, right?
yeah, and that's what I mean. As a parent,
I get it's a crime, but where's your duty of care? Isn't that like neglect?
It is, because this is kind of how I feel about it. As a parent, there's no way in hell, I don't care how much money you have, I'm allowing my child to go over to your home because you have rides and ponies and shit. And you allowing them or saying they're sleeping in your bed with you. I'd be damned if my kid's going to be at your house sleeping in bed with a grown-ass man who's not a family member.
Take away the fact that he was a celebrity, right?
Right.
If this was Jimmy Bob from down the street,
right. Who
you
drove
still
a
don't know
creeper
this
van.
person. You don't know this person.
Right. You going to let
Would
your kid in the creeper van with him? Hell no.
I know. So we have a guest very quickly who's going to give us a little quick update because she knows all things Michael Jackson. Lashana, are you there? She's here. So, have you got any information updates for us?
Honey, let me tell you, and after all, hi, Uncle Jeffrey, and I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just in a mess right now. But first of all, let me say this. The judge had dismissed Wade Robson and James Safechuck's case because there was no evidence, and there was just no evidence because there was inconsistencies also with this case. And second of all, another huge congratulations to the Jackson estate because they just won against the IRS due to the fact they had no information about him being broke. But due to all the stuff that's been going on and all the streaming services and everything, yeah, they won against the IRS. And most importantly, he is now inducted into the Black Entertainment Hall of Fame along with Beyonce. So I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I know there's a lot of people saying like, well, why did he settle? Why did he settle? Watch Square One on Amazon Prime and it'll give you all the information that you really need to know because he was extorted. Because number one, he was African American. Number two, he had a whole lot of money. And number three, everybody was targeting him because he was a Black artist who made a whole lot of money and he was powerful. He was powerful. And also he was telling the truth and everybody didn't like it. And he was targeted. He was targeted.
I think that once you have a case, it gets blown up like that and you settle, you definitely have a target on your back.
Yes,
because people know, oh, he's going to settle. I'm going to check. Because, again, I mean, she's right. Square One, I watched it when it first came out on YouTube. And it talks about those things and why they couldn't go to trial and he had to settle because the way it was working, he would have basically given them his entire case.
Yeah.
Prior to going to trial. So it was crazy. It was just crazy what had happened. So it's definitely, if you're on the fence about Michael Jackson, I'd say Square One is worth looking into. I don't feel like it's so biased towards him, but it's just more about like, let's try to find the facts.
Right.
Exactly. Because I watched it like over 3 times already, and it gets down to the really nitty gritty for the everything from 93 to the 2005 trial. Yes, I agree with you. They need to play Moonwalker also. Moonwalker to me, back as a kid, was the best movie. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Moonwalker was the best.
Well,
anyway,
thank you so much for your update, Lashana. We'll keep referencing you because you seem to be the queen of Michael Jackson knowledge. So
I have to be honest. I've been a fan of Michael ever since I was in diapers. Okay, from diapers all the way to high school. If you keep wanting me to keep debating on this, I will tell you straight up in your face. If you want to debate me, where's the receipts? Show me the receipts. If you show me the receipts, we can talk. If you're not going to show me the receipts, I'm going to talk you down.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, honey, thank you for coming on today, and we'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Thank you.
Where's Vera? Is she back?
I love her.
It's better
Look, she's back. Look, it's good to have someone who knows stuff because we don't claim to be authorities on everything. We can only go off what we know. We do know this was sad though this week.
I know.
Olympia Dukakis dies at 89. And yes, I do know that originally I wrote 99, but the funny thing is wait, why is this not moving? I copied and pasted the original article from a legit news source.
I saw it from
99.
a legit news source. I saw a couple of them, and they had 99 on there as well.
Copyright.
It's making me sad, guys.
Mikey, his grandmother died.
Cher's mother. She was Cher's mother.
We're losing all
grandma.
We're losing all of these older actors. It's making me real sad, which is kind of why I didn't want to mention Anthony Hopkins winning the Oscar because I'm like, oh, he's 83. I don't think I can handle Anthony Hopkins yet. Like, let's keep it to ourselves.
Right.
We don't all lose Anthony. But yeah, it bumps me out.
Bumps
me out, man. Keith Richards is going to outlive. Look, we should have gone to Keith for the COVID vaccine.
Seriously. Like,
In that
he's gonna
blood-
live forever. Something's going on.
Him and Cher should have bred back in the day, and like, you know, that's the next generation of humans.
Fabulous at 70.
I know. She looks really good.
I've got one more little funny news story before we get into our main topic. Speaking of next generation of humans, why is this not working today? Okay. An expectant mother got the surprise of her life when going into labor prematurely on a Delta Airlines flight from Salt Lake City to Honolulu at 29 weeks. The mother was unaware she was pregnant. Luckily, there were 3 NICU nurses and a doctor on board. Holy shit, that's a holiday.
I know. How can you not know you're pregnant?
So I watched this show. I've seen it. I've watched it a couple times. I didn't know I was pregnant. I just don't understand how they give birth to a 10-pound fucking baby and you didn't feel anything. Like, oh, I didn't feel that. I'm calling bullshit. You have a freaking kid, nothing wrong with it. It's big as a fucking bus, and you didn't know you were pregnant. Suspicious.
You had to be letting your genes out. You know?
You had to be feeling something. Like, I can only, like, I'm a male, but I can imagine having another life form inside you is not the most comfortable.
You know,
even when you're male, having another life form inside you is not comfortable.
Right? I'm sorry. I've had 2 children. I'm sorry. You know something's inside of you moving around. It's not a good feeling. It's
I broke Jeffrey.
Like, it's not comfortable having something shoved up in your ribs and on your bladder. I don't know. No. These women, they're fucking liars. She just wanted to go on vacation still.
She did.
She didn't want anybody to tell her not to fly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
going to knock out a few more. We might just go a little bit overtime today, but that's okay. I just want to talk about this because I think it was really funny. StreamYard's being a bitch.
Oh dear.
Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have been spotted together. So after the failure of her relationship with A-Rod and his failure in pretty much everything, it seems that Jennifer may have reunited. Affleck was spotted exiting an SUV at a hotel where the singer-actress was staying, and the same vehicle would later pick up Ms. Lopez for a business meeting. Reports also say Ben has been picked up at various locations and driven to J-Lo's home, then dropped off a few hours later. The pair have apparently made friendly after their romantic relationship ended, but could there be more benefits to the friendship than we know?
I think she was there for him during his divorce, and he's just doing the same thing. She's always said that they stayed friends. Always.
Yeah.
So like everybody just needs to leave Jennifer alone. Leave Jennifer alone.
I will admit they are kind of cute together. I like the Bennifer.
Honey, she
I
kept
like
the
it.
ring.
As she should have.
Right? What's in that one song? She's like, went nowhere, but kept the ring.
So they're gonna go back. They're gonna go backwards now because when they were together, she released her worst music, and he actually had a movie career.
No, she killed it. He got. They both lost shit because of that. What was Jiggly?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking
I
of
never knew how
horrible
to
things.
pronounce that movie.
Speaking of horrible things. Caitlyn Jenner has gone on the record stating she opposes trans women competing in sports. Jenner said it to TMZ that it's a question of fairness. That's why I oppose biological boys who are trans competing in girls' sport in school. It just isn't fair. And we have to protect girls in sport in our schools. Many transgender rights advocates have criticized Jenner, many opposed to trans women competing For reference, Fallon Fox, a male to female transgender MMA fighter who broke the occipital bone in her female competitor during a fight. Well, I don't know why that's funny. Do you agree or disagree that trans women have an advantage against cisgendered women in sporting events?
I don't know whether I agree or disagree with this, but I do think that we have a responsibility to keep stupid people out of politics.
Malibu.
She wasn't with a bathroom ban at one point?
Yeah.
As a trans woman, she wanted to go in the men's room?
Right. See, I think I'm kind of I'm trying not to piss nobody off, but I have to be honest about it.
Do you remember what show you're on?
I know I'm going to piss some people off, and I'm not sorry, but I don't know how I would feel about a transgender female going into a sport that my daughter was playing. You know what I mean? Like, say my daughter's on track and racing. There's a big difference in like the biology of how a male and a female, you know, just everything's different. They're a little bit stronger in certain aspects. I don't know if I would be okay with that.
I think it's really an issue when it's a full contact body sport.
Yes, that
Right?
would make a big difference. I don't like the MMA part and, you know, the wrestling and things like that. I don't think it should be allowed. I think there's a huge difference.
But
Just
do you
my
go
opinion.
into MMA because you're worried about broken bones?
No, because you're going to get broken bones anyways.
Yes. MMA
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
violent sport.
Right.
I mean-
but
People get broken
do you
bones
want
all
a
the
man,
time.
but do you want a transgender female who is already stronger than you, probably a little bigger than you, having the upper hand automatically even before you get into the ring to fight? No, like give me somebody I might have a chance to whoop their ass. Don't have somebody coming in who is automatically going to take me down and I don't have a shot at it.
Well,
I
can't
wanna
we
be-
just? Sorry, go ahead.
I just want the chance to be able to break somebody's nose fairly.
But-
All I'm asking for.
I don't know anything about MMA. I really don't. I know that it's violent and it's bloody.
Yes.
But
Yes.
aren't there weight classes? Don't you have to compete in a class of size, you know, body mass?
Right.
Right. It is weight classes and things like that, but you have to remember biological men, they're built differently. They have different things going on. They're a little bit stronger. It's not a fair fight. You know?
What if they're on a bunch of hormones? Like, I don't really know the answer to this. I'm genuinely
I don't know
asking.
either, but
Right?
I mean, yeah,
I know
Yeah.
that as they transition, they lose muscle mass.
right, because
They
of
do.
their own hormones,
Because
yeah.
of the changing hormones.
Well,
You
you know
know,
what? They'd have to show me that there are extra hormones before I get in the ring. I want to know, like.
Well,
you
does
know.
lead to the old joke. How do you make a hormone? I'm not going to
Make
say
you
it on
watch
air.
UCR.
I'm not going to say it on air because it's offensive, baby. But we're going to quickly jump into a section I like to call The View from Here. I forgot to say the title before I got there. So, the topic is we seem very obsessed with legal cases lately. We're not, I promise. It's just in the news. So,
Without
our
Trump,
favorite
it's what?
Holy Spirit, Brittany, has apparently spoken out against the documentaries that are detailing the conservatorship. There's a whole big thing. I'll read it quickly. 2021 is definitely better than 2020, but I never knew it was going to be like this. So many documentaries about me this year with other people's takes on my life. What can I say? I'm deeply flattered. These documentaries are so hypocritical. They criticize the media, then do the same thing. Damn, I don't know if y'all, but I'm thrilled to remind you that although I've had some pretty tough times in my life, I've had way more amazing times in my life. And unfortunately, my friends, I think the world is more interested in the negative. Now, this is all well and good. There's some debate as to whether she's actually running that Instagram at all or if it's someone employed. But this is all coming on the back of this trial that she is now couple of weeks away from getting up there. It's in the news again today that it's all about getting Jamie removed from the conservatorship. But my question for the panel today is, when did you decide it was okay to stand up for yourself? It's taken Brittany over 10 years to speak up about this conservatorship and why she thinks it's not right. So do you remember when you went, hey, this isn't okay, I'm going to stand up? It doesn't have to be anything too life-changing, but there's moments in everyone's life where you go, you know what? This is more like what I'm feeling, and what this situation makes me feel is like not great, and I'm in a better place if I stand up and speak for myself. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go, Vera. She's got it.
Believe it or not, I'm late to this game. I didn't start sticking up for myself till really recently. You know, I just took it, you know, whatever. Somehow I thought I deserved bad things, and you know, maybe it was Catholic school education, but I was in my 50s before I just decided, fuck this noise.
Good for you.
Do you remember,
Vera.
was there a specific situation that you went, I'm done? Or it's just...
Yeah, well, actually, as a nurse, there's a very specific hierarchy, and male doctors will always talk down to female nurses. But you throw a male nurse in the mix, and that misogyny comes out. And as a 10-year experienced nurse, I had a doctor talking to a less experienced male nurse for clinical discussion and talking over me and through me and never even looking at me. And I was, you know, the doctor walked out of the room, and I went off on the nurse, the other nurse, that it was never his fault. And I just said, you know what? I need to go talk to the doc. And when I did, the doctor was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, he like didn't really know he had been doing it. But once I said something, he stopped, and that's how it goes, you know? Stick up for yourself. You realize it.
Stick up for yourself. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share?
Oh,
Jeffrey?
okay. No, all right. Well, I mean, if I must spill the tea.
Please do.
So what happened was, you know, I cut my mother, my father, and my brother out of my life. It took a long time for me to get there, but my kids' mental health and my mental health is going to come first. Like, It was toxic. It wasn't healthy. I realized my mother didn't really tell the truth, and she spun it how she saw fit. And she really kind of became her mother and her father. And I wasn't going to continue the pattern anymore. And two, she likes to tell people that I stopped talking to her because she wouldn't take my kids trick-or-treating. I've got 3 kids that are crazy, and I had a 1-year-old at the time. She had congestive heart failure and some cancer. She's already taken one of my old foster daughter's kids. I'm not going to ask you to take my kids trick-or-treating. Like, so you can tell whatever story you need to, but that right there is the perfect example of why I'm no longer in your life. You can't tell the truth. And the fact was, you treated my kids like they were adopted, redheaded stepchildren that you couldn't be bothered with. And then you let your other son attack me and put my kids at risk. Like, it's not cool, dude. You know what I mean? And I've never really spoke about it before, but yeah, that was it. That was the time in my life where it was like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. It's time to move on. And y'all got to go. And I'll tell you what, it was the biggest blessing because I'm so less stressed out. And the drama that came from my immediate family was constant and intense all the time. So, yay.
Jeff, have I just had an Oprah moment?
Yeah,
I want that pay. I want that sweet, sweet Oprah money. Hire me, Oprah. I'll go. I'll go. Anjul?
Probably planning my wedding. It was, we had a lot of opinions. We had a lot of people say what they thought we should do or shouldn't do. We had people personally attacking us because they weren't invited to the wedding. And we had some people who thought it was weird that my husband was marrying a chocolate woman. So at that point, I definitely stood up for myself. I told him, fuck you, fuck her, fuck him, go fuck yourselves. And we did what we wanted, and our wedding was awesome. And, you know, that was probably the first time I started standing up for myself was then. Only
And it
because
set
my
you
husband
off-
told me to.
Yeah, it set you off on the right path for your
Oh.
marriage with.
Oh, Lord, did
You
it
know.
ever? Did it ever?
You know, you're not like tiptoeing around things to make people happy.
Oh,
and
no, just ask my
blah, blah,
mother-in-law.
And if you want to know more about that, you can check out our TikTok because Angel's going to be dropping some hot videos, aren't you, Angel?
They're going to be amazing, and you guys have to definitely subscribe to our TikTok because you're not going to want to miss these videos.
Yeah, subscribe. The TikTok link is floating below. But again, it's getting warm and flustery and blustery in here. So that can only mean that it is time for Vera event. Okay, Vera, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, I've already
Vent.
had a couple of really good ones tonight.
You have.
Because of time, I'm going to keep this really short. America, sorry, Australia, I don't mean to leave you guys out, but it's time for national health care. We got to do it. Too many people are dying. I keep losing friends and family who don't have proper health care, who can't get diagnostic tests. National health care, single payer system. It's time.
I like that, Vent.
That was
That's
very.
it?
That was a
agree,
very
Vera.
relaxed event.
It
She's
was
very
well,
relaxed.
It's been a rough week.
Somebody
lost-
let the gas out of your tailpipe?
Well, I've already mentioned twice, but I lost 2 friends this week.
Oh, no.
I one was a childhood friend who couldn't get the proper diagnosis for cancer and died.
Oh.
And the other was a 37-year-old child that I watched grow up. I've known this kid since he was an infant, and my heart is broken.
That one
And
that just
he-
happened?
It did just happen, yes.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to say the name, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of them had inadequate health care. My cousin died because she had inadequate health care. My brother-in-law's best friend died because of inadequate health care. It's time to do something.
I mean, for everything that you guys have, it's just it blows my mind that you are so like you guys. The American system is held up to, you know, you're like world leaders, and then you look at stuff like this where people can't afford basic healthcare.
Yeah,
it's so
time.
sad
And embarrassing. God, you know, you think they're embarrassed because we have Kamala Harris as our vice president? All you freaking Trumpers? No, we're
There's the Vera
Right.
we know.
There's
We
bigger
should be
issues.
embarrassed because we don't have fucking health care.
Yeah,
We
there's
don't need
bigger
to be
issues.
embarrassed because we have a female vice president. Fuck that noise. We need to be embarrassed because we don't have basic necessity for life.
Maybe if we had health care, there'd be less gun violence. Just saying.
Maybe. But look, guys, things are not that great here in Australia. Now, I know that Angel back in, I think it was last year, actually, we had a very interesting conversation about brown snakes. But here in Australia, things are not that great. Check out this sucker that was found on a wall last year.
Nope.
Oh, God.
Nope.
That's a huntsman spider.
Just burn the whole
That's
house
huge.
down.
A heart attack.
And also, last week in Queensland, check out the size of this fucking moth.
Where's Godzilla?
That's Mothra.
That's Mothra. Yeah,
It's
right?
Mothra.
So, look,
You know what?
maybe we need our guns back to take out the giant animals that are coming to devour us all over here.
Well,
So
we're
you never
waiting-
know.
We're waiting for the cicadas here.
I know. I
Oh, we
know.
also have a mouse. We also have a mouse plague because of
I saw
the
that.
the cold winter. Yes. So, we're going back into the 1800s. We're all going to get the
can't.
bubonic plague and scurvy and all that. I got rickets, man.
Bitch, you better hurry
Somebody's
up.
got to take over the world when we end it because we can't end global warming.
It's not going to be us because we can't. We can't get Pfizer. We're just blood clotting our way into fucking non-existence over here. Woo!
Well, half of the European Union is rejecting the Johnson & Johnson, so maybe you guys can get some Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
No, we're popping with AstraZeneca over here. They're like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't have it, but you can have it. They're like, you should have that. It's like, well, you're telling us not to have it? They're like, give it to the old people. It's okay.
Mom,
give it to the old.
if you're watching, you should go over there and get that one.
Hot, fresh tea and love from the UCR panel. Well, guys, it's been a fun show today. Welcome back, Angela. It's been so good
Thank
to have
you, guys. I'm happy to be back.
And everyone else, we will see you again very, very soon. Stay safe, stay lubricated, and stay loved. We love you. Bye. Listen, kid, it's been a swell time, but the sun's gone now.